what I don't like about what's going on is I just view this as, well, let's watch the Democratic Party commit suicide. And like, I've been a Democrat most of my life. I kind of view myself as outside it, but I don't like watching the Democrats just commit suicide. And what I see is most of the country doesn't really, at this point, given the fraud, waste, and abuse we know is there, 90% of the country is like, get rid of that fraud, waste, and abuse. And I just view this as yet another example of the progressive left boxing themselves into a suicide dance. Now, what the progressive left should be doing is saying, okay, Elon, you're clearly the most qualified person in the world to do something like this. We want to dialogue with you about how you're doing and what are you doing. I don't believe that's actually what happened. And again, I like Elon. I know I think he's obviously the most important builder in the world. And I just think, if you want to say my former side, I don't believe that they're actually engaging.
And it's not just this Elon Musk thing. If this was about immigration and MS-13 and illegals, somebody with common sense would say, yes, let's talk about this. We don't want illegal criminals here. We don't want people here illegally. We don't blank, 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 blank. Nobody's talking that way. And frankly, if they don't start, like what this guy had to say, I think is really important. If the left doesn't start, not only do we get more divided, but God forbid they ever win an election again. What are we facing here? I mean, it might be worse than we think it's ever been. They could literally destroy the country.
And you know what's crazy, too, is that the people that follow these idiots, and we see them, and again, we're friends with them on Facebook, we get it, that if tomorrow the New York Times, USA Today, Washington Post, and everybody in the mainstream media started going, you know what? We cannot have illegals in this country anymore. If they started that narrative within a week, all your friends, all your lefty friends would be like, Vin, I don't know how you feel about this, but this is how I feel about illegals. And you'd be like, you would think you are taking crazy pills, because they would all fall into line. They would not think for themselves. They would just say, oh, okay, that's the new talking point. I guess that's what we're doing now. This is brand new. Hopefully this will beat Trump.
Yeah, but strategically, the last thing you said is what's important, I think, and everything that you said there, which has great merit, and that might be Trump. If they really want to have power back, if they really want to beat, Trump one day, you would think that they would start agreeing with some of this stuff, because 80% of the country does.
Right.
I mean, the country knows where we're supposed to be going. It's just this little fringe part. But if you, I hate to even think this way, but if you're a Democratic operative and you're advising them, the advice would be support this stuff. This is good stuff. You're not giving them more power. You're showing that you're sane, that you actually have a grip on things.
Yeah, and you might actually win.
You might actually win. And by the way, would we be really upset if there was a moderate in office, God forbid, somewhere that actually had some of these sane thinking? We'd be like, you know what? I wish my guy won, but this guy's not so bad. That's a good place to be for the country.
Put this headline up, Aaron, while they're talking about the Democrats trying to get it together and get sane.